Welcome to the Champagne Way,
a podcast devoted to living every day like a celebration.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 9. Woo woo.
Woo woo! Welcome to the Champagne Way.
Yes, we missed you guys. So we're going to start today with what's in your cup.
What's in our hands?
Yeah, actually this week is a little different. There's a bottle in our hands.
Yeah, this week we have Angry Orchard Hard Cider, but the rosé kind. They have a new one. And I don't know, what do y'all think about this?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
What did you think it was going to taste like? Were you pleasantly surprised, or were you like dreading it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pink, and so, sometimes those things I'm like, this is going to be too sweet. But first of all, it smells like gummy bears, so I'm already like down with that business. And yeah, it tastes really good. Like I'm on my second one, and I'm feeling great, and it tastes good.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm a fan of the Angry Orchard hard ciders, but a lot of times they're too sweet or too heavy, but I feel like this one's good, a good balance, and it's also naturally gluten-free if you can't handle the evil glutens.
That's true. That's actually a really good point there. I didn't even notice that, but yeah, I'm with you on the Angry Orchards hard ciders. Like usually I can go maybe through like one or two, maybe a third, but it can get a little sweet for like prolonged drinking. But this one, the rosé one, is actually really good. It was pleasantly surprising. It's sweet, so if you are the type of person who likes a good sweet champagne flavor, it is kind of like a hard cider sweetness mixed with a rosé, so it's got a little bit more of that like crisp taste of rosé.
Yeah, it's great for a barbecue.
Yeah. It would be
like
it's a good
summer. Even on the boat.
This will be great when we go to the drive-in movie theater.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. And if you're feeling fancy, it's made with rare French red flesh apples.
They probably could have left off the word flesh.
I don't know. I like it.
Well,
You like it?
I just think if you're feeling fancy, there
Yeah.
you go.
I'm like, made with rare French red apples would have sounded more appealing than red flesh
Maybe
apples.
that's the name of that certain apple, Trina.
IDK, you got to go with it.
That's true. I don't know.
So yeah, drive-in movie theater right here.
Poolside, it could also be good for, pool and boating. I mean, actually, I feel like this is a very good option for portable champagne connoisseurs.
Oh, camping.
Ooh,
camping.
Because every time I go camping, I pack some bottles of champagne, but sometimes it gets hard to deal with. So this might be good to throw in there.
I mean, I don't know if it's a pro or con, but also if you open a whole bottle of champagne when you're out camping, you just have to finish it every time.
Oh.
Not a problem for me, but,
me either.
for some people maybe. But you could probably maintain if you just wanted a sip of something or a drink of something if you did.
What is this word you speak of?
Right, exactly. Okay. So we have something else also to taste right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, what is it?
Oh, what Lindsey brought us. Lindsey,
So
what did you
if
bring
you
us?
have been following our social media, you already know. It's got to be Sweet brand Mimosa Cotton Candy.
Ooh.
It's like orange and white, and it looks like delicious cotton candy.
Yes, and can I just say that cotton candy is really good if you pour champagne over it.
Well, I think we're going to try it both ways. We're going to try it first impressions of trying this, and then by itself, and then second impression with mixing it with some champagne. Now, so where did you find this at, Lindsay?
This was actually at TJ Maxx.
Really?
Yeah.
They have such random things there.
I know, I love it.
Okay, so look, everyone, I'm doing the legit taste test. I'm smelling the white fluff and the orange fluff to see if there's a difference.
Oh, smart. So, like, do you think one's going to be, like, more orange and one's going to be more of the champagne flavor?
Yeah, I think there is a difference here.
I'm smelling both, and they both smell like cotton candy.
Okay, maybe I just have a more refined palate, so here we go.
Are you saying my smell is not refined?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Trina.
Well, with the weather here in Tennessee, you're probably clogged.
Okay, here it is.
All right. Oh, she's doing white. Let's do white.
All right, white. Okay, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But does it taste like champagne or mimosas? Let me take another bite.
I'm going to do the orange.
Yeah, I'm going to do the orange because I think you got to mix them together and see what they taste like.
Yeah.
Maybe the orange tastes a little bit more orangey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A little more orangey.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I kind of feel like they both just taste like cotton candy to me. I get the orange flavor, but I'm not getting an overwhelming like mimosa or champagne
You
flavor.
gotta mix them together.
You gotta mix them. Let's see what happens.
Okay, just mixed them. I'm loving these sound effects, guys.
Yeah, there it is, mimosa.
In your face. The most sugary mimosa ever.
Yeah, it's the sweetest mimosa ever. Also, kind of tastes like one of those like Flintstone orange pops.
Yeah. Oh my God, right? Mm-hmm.
They should have put that on there. Although we probably wouldn't have bought it. If Lindsay wouldn't have gotten it if it had that on there. But
I don't know. I probably would have. I love those things.
or dreamsicle. But I know. I mean, I could see a little bit of that flavor in there.
Yeah,
so how
it's
does it?
good.
I wonder how does it taste with the champagne now? You want to try that way?
Yeah.
Obviously.
With champagne or the Angry Orchard Rosé?
Let's do with the Angry Orchard
Let's
Rosé.
just mix it up and just see how it all rolls together.
So I'm gonna get a little orange, a little bit of white. I've never done this before. Do you put the cotton candy in the glass first?
Yes.
And then you pour.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting that in the glass. Alrighty. Let's see. What is it? What does it look like?
Yeah, take a picture.
Oh, it's really pretty.
Oh, it is really pretty, actually. So take a before and an after picture, just so you guys can see what it looks like. That's what we're going to do. Everyone, it looks beautiful.
So
It looks like a sunset in my glass.
Alrighty. I'm gonna pour it on. It does look really
It looks
good.
beautiful.
Okay. All right. Let's see how this is.
So, okay, here we go. I'm sorry you guys can't enjoy it.
Oh, it really bubbles up there. Ooh, it looks good.
It's going to be sweet.
Okay, let's see if I'm going to have to go to the dentist as soon as this finishes.
Oh yeah, you can see it kind of coming off at the bottom of it too. I have to drink that before it spills over.
Okay, look and listen. It's really not as bad.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
It does make it a little bit more,
It's a little
obviously
bit sweeter.
but it kind of adds a neat little flavor to it. It's kind of like maybe Angry Orchard should consider making like a mimosa like rosé next or something.
There you go.
Oh, and it looks so beautiful. Okay, everyone, Jess is like thinking that this should maybe go to TJ Maxx and go find this cotton candy and go get some of this Angry Orchard Rosé and like make this your next brunch cocktail.
Yep.
It's actually really
And
good.
actually, what I think you should do is maybe go get some pineapple, cut it up, put it on the edge of your glass, and you have this like beautiful cocktail. That's what I think.
Ooh, this would be actually. You could put this cotton candy in like a punch or something
Yep.
too.
Yes.
Oh, that would be good.
It's good in like a brewed or extra dry.
Oh.
And it's also good in cocktails, like
Okay.
vodka cocktails.
Right.
Ooh.
I may or may not have experimented with cotton candy before.
Oh, see, there you go.
Well, I'm glad you brought this.
Me
This
too.
is really good. This is like new experiment. Maybe we should experiment on this every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to keep experimenting down the road, I think.
They had like a Bellini and a margarita
Ooh.
cotton candy too.
Well, we're definitely going to maybe have to think about that, yes. But yeah, no, this looks really pretty
That's
for a
delicious.
cocktail, for just like a little brunch something.
Wonder what happens if you like just put it on top as garnish. Does it melt? Oh, it melts in.
yeah.
Oh my god, it just melted right into it.
Yeah.
And all the bubbles that came up out of it. What is that called? The cholera?
The-
Or something like that?
That's a disease. That's
a
STD. That's a really nasty disease. I think that's a collar.
The collar.
So we enjoyed this a lot, is what we're
It's not a
saying.
disease.
Is what we're telling you.
So yeah, on to our next subject.
Right. Well, we're going to keep on cotton candying up our drinks.
Yeah,
is
don't
what
worry,
we're
guys.
saying. So.
Don't worry.
Oh, this is so good.
So Trina, we noticed that you have a reason to celebrate.
That's right. We had a big week last week for my family. Well, first of all, my sister got engaged. That's
hooray.
Congratulations, Nina!
super excited. Her fiance is just he's just the sweetest. He's super nice. So I couldn't be happier for her. She really deserves this. But there's like this whole backstory to the whole thing.
Oh, spill.
Like, she had no idea it was coming. So, and I wanted that for her because sometimes people like to be in the know that it's happening, and maybe even plan it out. But for her, like, I really wanted her to be legitimately surprised, to have that, like, shock and awe moment. And so her fiance came to me and said, okay, I've got the rings. Well, actually, he had messaged me before that and said, this is what she's saying she wanted. And he sent me pictures of rings. And I was like, no, I think she's being too, like, humble. She wants something different. And so I sent him back, like, a couple pictures of other rings that had more detail to them. And they just, in my opinion, they screamed her. And so anyways, one thing that he did have that she had said was correct was that she wanted a rose gold ring.
Right. Oh my God. I loved her ring. It was beautiful.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just absolutely beautiful. So when I went to the jeweler's website that he had been looking at, she had been saying, oh, I just want a solitaire ring, something very simple. And I think that she was saying that because, you know, she was trying to be mindful of like budget and stuff. But I was like, well, when it comes to a solitaire that people, because there's nothing else on it, it tends to be more expensive.
Yeah.
And I looked up the prices for like the ones that he'd been looking at. I was like, oh my God, no. I was like, she will kill you if you spend that much money on a ring. And so I looked at the website and I was like, oh my God, there's these other ones that have all of these little different diamonds on the band and diamonds around the center stone. And they were so pretty. And they were half the price. But they were, to me, they looked so much like more expensive. They looked like more unique and they screamed her. So I sent him back a picture of one of those and then another one and said, go look at those two. And he was like, I don't know. It's not what she was saying she wanted. And I was like, trust me, these are her. He went, he looked, he saw them in person. And I think he had that same thought process as, this is her. Like, this is, she likes, it came with matching bands and she really likes these like dainty bands that have like these different like inner woven like stones and stuff. And so it came with the two of those, and she knows that she likes stacked rings, and that's exactly what they look like. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so he buys the ring, he comes, he shows it to me, then he says that he wants to propose possibly on her birthday. And
so how long before he proposed did he tell you about? How long did you have to keep this a secret?
Oh my gosh, I had maybe a month in total because he told me about like he was looking for rings, mm-hmm. and then he like came back a couple weeks later and he was like, I got the rings. And I heard nothing between the two times, so I didn't know which one he'd went with. And then when he showed it to me, I was like, oh my God, it's like that one. And then when he showed them to me, of course, I feel like this is a thing for men. It's like as soon as they get the ring in their pockets or in their hands or whatever, they immediately want to propose.
It's like a hot thing, commodity. It's like there.
It's like, I think if you ask most men, it's like how long between like the ring and the actual proposal, it's probably less than a week. Always.
Yeah. Oh, my husband was so excited. Like, he told me, he's like, it was so hard not to ask you as soon as I got it. I think they're just so excited, too. They're just like, oh, I have it. Mm-hmm. I want to do it.
It's like when they've made that decision, it's like that they want to get married and stuff. I feel like it's like they've got to have really good restraint. That's not saying anything if like they've held on to it for like 6 months to find the right time. Maybe they didn't know their partner enough to know that they want a special moment. But like I feel like most men, it's just like, I've got the ring, I got to propose, I got to do this now, I want this to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I also feel like then they also want to get married like immediately. Like none of this waiting for 6 months and planning and all that.
Men are so needy.
Impatience, a good word for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, he was like, okay, I want to propose. I want to plan this out. And her birthday was coming up. So he wanted to do something for her birthday. It happened to be the busiest week of my last job. Mm-hmm. It was music festival week. Her birthday was on the very last night of the festival. And I was like, yeah.
Well, he wanted you to be a part of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so nice, though.
He wanted me to be a part of it, which was really, really sweet. He also wanted my dad to be a part of it. And my dad was coming in town that week. So he wanted to ask like for his blessing, and then he wanted to be able to do the proposal and get to know him for the whole week. And I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And so basically I said to him, I was like, this is a really weird situation, but my sister doesn't know that my dad's coming into town like a day early and you can't tell her. And he was just like, wait, what? Your dad's coming in a day early? Like, what's happening?
Surprise.
And I was like, well, he wanted to surprise her on Easter morning that he was there for the kids, and she thought that he was going to be driving up that whole day. It's like a 12-hour drive. And so I was like, he's coming up the day before. We're going to go to a hockey game. It's his first hockey game. But he was going to come up. We were going to go to dinner, go to the hockey game. My sister knew nothing about it. She wasn't going to find out till the next morning that he was going to be there. So I said, how about you come meet us at dinner, and I introduce you to my dad. You get to meet him. You get to ask for his blessing in that same meal. And then you propose the next day on Easter Sunday.
I'm sorry. let me back up here. So he's going to meet your dad for the first time.
Without my sister.
Without your sister the night before, which so usually is not what happens. It's usually like, hi, this is my dad. Like, let me introduce you. So instead, like, her sister is going to introduce your dad. And then the next day, he's going to propose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure I'm getting everything straight.
It was a bit of a crazy plan.
Okay.
It really was.
Okay.
And so my dad comes in town, and her boyfriend comes to meet us for dinner. She has no idea. So he's pulled this off. He's like, told her a little white lie and said he's going out to dinner with a friend of his, and he comes to meet me and my dad instead. And we had a great dinner. They got along really well. And then, you know, you could tell he was a little nervous, and then randomly out of nowhere, he's just kind of like, so I really love your daughter, and I really want to marry her. I love your blessing.
What?
It was just kind of like, it was like, right out. It was actually really sweet, but also kind of really funny because I was just sitting there like, when's he going to do it? When's it going to happen?
I hope your face was like what you just did.
Right, I hope it was too.
I kind of kept looking at him and looking at my dad and being like,
Right. I bet your dad was like, what, are you on some new medication?
yeah. So, anyways, of course, my dad being my dad, was really funny, and he was just like, are you sure? You know what you're getting into? Do you really love her? And like, started giving him like the third degree, but also kind of making it really funny, just being like, but are you sure? And anyways, all that ended well. He went home and back to my sister that night, and we went out to the game. So the next morning, this is where it gets tricky. It's Easter Sunday. It also happens to be April Fool's Day.
Oh, goodness.
My sister wakes up that morning and knew that my dad was going to be driving up from Florida that day. And so she was like, well, where's he at? Because we have this app where we could follow him along his drive. And she's like, he hasn't called. He's not answering his phone. Then she texts me and she's like, hey, have you heard from Dad? I haven't heard from him. So at this point, my dad's already gotten up. We're getting ready for church. And I get on the phone with her and I'm like, hey, where's Dad at? Like, have you heard from him? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, have you checked the app? And she's like, no. And she's like, let me pull it up right now. So she pulls it up, and I can hear her on the phone as she's looking it up in the app. And she's going, well, it's really weird. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think the app's broken. It's saying that he's already here, like he's at your house. And I'm like, at this point, we're walking down the street to her house. And I was like, well, he's definitely not at my house right now. Is he at your house? And she was like, no. And I was like, are you sure? And so she goes outside to check her driveway. And at that point in time, we're standing at the end of her driveway. So she was already like, oh my God, like freaking out. Like, he's there already. He's surprising her and our kids for Easter Sunday. Her boyfriend walks out, and he was a pro. He walked up and he's like, hi, sir, and nice to meet you, and shakes his hand, and like, my dad did the same. It was like, it went over completely. And my sister was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. But also kind of being like, you guys better not punk me at all today. Like,
Oh, no.
she was like on edge that whole morning after we left there, thinking that we were like setting her up for something and that we were going to prank her for
April Fool's Day was probably
like,
not the best day.
I mean, did she freak out, like, being like, oh, hey, Dad, this is my boyfriend? Like, I mean,
I
the
think
first
because
time?
kind of, but at the same time, like, you could tell she was kind of like nervous because of that, because it all happened so fastly. And like, we left and went to church right after that, and we all went as a group. And in the car ride to church, she said to her boyfriend, like, I'm still like on edge. Like, I can't believe my dad's already here, and like, Trina surprised me. And like, I'm just like so weirded out by this. I feel like y'all are going to like prank me, or that Trina's going to prank me again or something. Like, and she looked at him and was like, don't let that happen. Don't let him get me any more today. And he was just like, okay, sure.
Oh, no.
So we go through church and all this. And so anyways, in the background of all of this, I had already talked to him about like setting it up and knew where the proposal was going to happen. It was going to happen on the pedestrian bridge. And it was like, okay, well, how do we strategically get her there? And how do we get her to walk across it? Mind you,
sorry, just in case anybody doesn't live in Nashville, that's just a beautiful bridge with lots of beautiful background downtown.
Beautiful skyline of Nashville and everything. And so I was like trying to figure out how to get her there. And then it was just like, well, how are we going to do this? And is it going to be cool? So I enlisted a friend of mine who is this amazing singer-songwriter named Michelle Pereira. And she got up on the bridge before us and had learned 2 songs that I'd requested her to learn and started playing them, like, when we got there. And that's why I'd been texting her the whole morning, like, on watch of, like, when were we going to get there, what she's supposed to do.
Can you sing a portion of the song you requested her to sing?
What did she sing?
Really, like, don't want me
No,
to
I do.
that.
But what did she sing?
So one of the songs was I Do by Colby Clay, which she sang after my sister answered.
Okay.
And then the other song was by the Old 97s, and it was called Question. And I actually found out about this song because I made a video for Lindsey's wedding.
Yes.
A photo montage video. And it's the chorus of it is, someday somebody's going to ask you a question that you should say yes to. And so
cute.
So she was singing that part first. But anyways, okay, so going back a second, this all depended on weather. So I told my sister, we're going to go to brunch after church, and we're going to go do an Easter egg hunt on the riverfront downtown. And then it ended up being like an 80-90% chance of rain that day. I was like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get her down there? How are we going to do this? Luckily, it started to clear out that day, and there was like this little window of opportunity. We got out of church. It was cloudy, but it wasn't rainy. And we drove through downtown, and parking was ridiculous, which I expected. So then we went back across the river and parked on the other side of the bridge near the stadium. Started walking across the bridge, and the whole time I'm just kind of like randomly texting my friend, like, we're almost there. If you almost see us, start playing the song. And, we stopped to pose for pictures. And during that time frame, all of a sudden, Michelle pops around the corner, and she's playing the guitar and singing The Question. And, like, my sister thinks I'm holding the camera to take a picture, and it's on video. And the kids are all there, and they've got their phones out taking a picture of just her and her boyfriend. And then she starts to hear the song.
Wait, so do the kids know?
Her kids did not, because they're a little too young and
Right.
can't keep it secret. And his kids are a little older, and they knew. And they were so excited. And they were, like, he has 2 girls, and they were just crying and so excited. And so as we were getting up the bridge, they were just kind of like getting antsy. And I was like, stop it. Don't let her know what's about to happen. But apparently that just all kept feeding into her that she was getting pranked.
Oh, bless your heart.
So anyways, I get up there. We were all taking the pictures. Michelle comes around the corner singing the song. And then all of a sudden, like, he turns to her and starts talking to her. And you can tell all of a sudden she realizes what's happening. And I think part of her was still thinking, like, oh my God, is this really happening? Also, if this is an April Fool's Day joke, this is really horrible. Like,
yeah,
this would be the
right,
meanest joke
That
to
would
play
be awful.
No.
ever. She's probably also thinking, like, oh my God, he just met my dad this morning. And I didn't even think about that when I proposed this plan.
Right.
And later she told me about that, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't account for that. Sorry.
By the way.
The anxiety going through her
Right,
mind was
right.
probably like, ah. But she obviously said yes. Then we did the whole celebration. There is a video of it that I'm going to get her permission for, and hopefully I can post it on our page.
great.
But it was just so exciting and so happy. Michelle was like shaking throughout the whole thing. Her voice is a little shaky because she was like trying not to cry. I think it was great because we actually surprised her. It was sweet. It was well thought out. The rings were amazing. And of course, she was like so excited about those. And it was funny because as soon as she looked at them, she was just like, oh my God, this is the perfect ring. And I was like, miss, I want a solitaire. No. Aren't you happy that I know you better than you know yourself? So yeah, it was exciting. It was wonderful. We're excited to have them all as a part of the family. So I'm gaining a new brother-in-law and 2 new nieces. So I can't.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
That's
super
awesome.
exciting.
Yay, Nina.
Yay. And we even went the other day and picked out her wedding dress.
Oh my God, already?
Yeah, I know, already. We went this weekend just to kind of like look at them. But like, I think it was like the second or third dress that she tried on, she almost fell in love with. And it was funny because it was the first one that I'd picked out for her. And I was like, this dress is like the dress. And then she got on one right after that. And as soon as she put that one on and walked out and looked in the mirror and started like bawling, which, I mean, she's a crier.
Yeah.
Right.
Such a crier.
I mean, that's okay.
It's an emotional time.
Yeah.
She started bawling. His oldest daughter started bawling. And then I was just like, okay, clearly you're going to buy this dress.
Right, this is it.
There's no more like searching. It's like, if you have that reaction, like an emotional reaction like that, you probably found your dress.
Yeah.
Because she really, on the other ones, it was kind of like, yay, this is nice. This is not nice.
Yeah.
So I think you just know when it comes to that.
You do.
I actually feel like people know more when they try on their wedding dress which one's the right dress than they do when they pick boyfriends.
It's easier.
I mean, it's just, you just like look at the mirror and like, bam.
Bam. Yeah. I'm going to cry and this is the one. But yeah, it was super exciting and we're all excited about it.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations, Nina.
Yay.
Yay. So happy.
Yes. We are all excited, especially even my husband, who's excited to have a really happy brother-in-law.
Oh, that's always a good thing.
Because he's such a great guy. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your husband or future brother-in-law?
both.
I mean both.
They've like bro bonded.
They bro bond?
They bro bonded.
Oh, that's so good.
That's so romantic.
I feel like that's just as important, bro bonding.
Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, because they have to deal with us. That's probably why.
Well, maybe your future brother-in-law can go on a triple date with Marshall and my husband.
There you go. They could actually. They'd probably have a lot of fun. So, what about your engagement?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Spill.
Let's hear about it because everyone's got a good engagement story.
I actually don't know if I know the details of Lindsey's engagement, so spill those.
Well, so first of all, let me preface this by saying that I told my husband a long time ago, do not ask my family for permission. Twofold. Number one, I think it's archaic. I was 28 when we got engaged, 29 when we got married. I was my own person. I don't belong to anybody. Don't ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To each their own. If that's something important to you, please do it. And then second of all, I was like, don't even tell my family because they will tell me.
That would have been mine. I'm the best secret keeper in my entire family.
My mom and grandmother, like if my mom buys me a Christmas gift, my grandmother will call and tell me that she bought one, and she'll be like, do you want to know what it is? So I'm like, just don't ask or tell anyone.
That would have been my sister to me.
Yeah.
How'd she know?
Oh.
So we moved in together pretty soon after we started dating. And we had talked about marriage, and I had never really talked to anyone about marriage before. So I was like, oh, it's something far, far away. It wasn't a priority to me to get married. I didn't even know if I would get married. It wasn't important. I was like, if I never get married, I'm going to be okay.
I feel you, girl.
Yeah. I wasn't that person who thought that I needed that to be happy. And some people
You don't
are.
need to be graduated from college and then immediately married and then immediately have a baby.
right.
You know,
None of those.
Some people do, and some people get married really young, and some people, some people never get married, and everything's okay. I think it just depends on you.
Yeah, it depends on the person. It really does.
Yeah, and I think it's okay for people to get married young or to not get married at all. I think that it's just different for everybody. And I had to explain that to my mom, and she just didn't understand. But, which I have some funny stories, which we'll talk about later in the podcast, because my mom's a hoot. We're going to have her on here at one point.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be great.
So we had looked at rings actually, but my husband was graduating law school. I had just started law practice. And so he said, with all this going on, it's just going to be a while. I was like, oh, that's fine. No worries. Like, even if you don't ever do it, that's fine. Like, we can just be together. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
So I wasn't expecting it. We actually had booked a trip to Disney World. And he had planned the surprise. Completely caught me off guard. We were there for a couple of days before he did it, first of all. So we were actually walking around. We were in a fight. Because
At the happiest place on earth?
okay.
Yeah, no.
I know.
What?
We were at the Magic Kingdom, and he was like, give me your camera. And if you know me, I'm like, no, you can't have my camera. Because I thought he was like, I was stopping to take pictures everywhere, and it was really annoying him. I didn't know he was just antsy.
Oh,
so he's like,
okay.
He's like, I'm working on a timeline here,
I'm
lady.
like, no. I'm like, no, you're not getting my camera. And I like stormed off, and he had to yell at me to come back. And then he's like, no, I found this perfect place for us to get a picture. I'm like, oh, well, why didn't you say so? So we go over, it's a place right in front of the Cinderella Castle. And so he puts his arm around me, and little did I know, like, because the Disney photographer is taking our picture, he has the ring on his pinky finger around my shoulder.
Oh.
And so he's like, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And then he like gets down on one knee, and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, will you marry me? And I'm like, are you for real? Is that because the ring was so gorgeous? I was like, this is a fake ring. Like, this is not real.
See, why does everyone think they're getting pranked on it?
I know. I was like, you got to put it on. He's like, you got to say yes. And so he did. And he told me afterwards, he's like, I had this huge speech planned out to tell you. He's like, but I like forgot it all. He's like, I was so nervous. I was like, did you really think I would say no? Like, he's like, I didn't know. So it was really sweet. And I love that story. And we've got a few pictures from it, and I love it.
Those are so sweet, those pictures.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the photographer was
that.
like, able to like get that moment.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we love Disney. We've been back several times since. The song that I walked down to the aisle to at the wedding was Once Upon a Dream. And then we named our daughter Aurora. So we're like Disney nerds.
Yeah. all the way, all the Disney.
And actually,
way.
that is Trina's fault. So
That is my fault, actually, because your first trip to Disney was with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember moving in with you guys and like thinking like all of you hadn't been to Disney, I think. And I was just like, wait, you haven't been to Disney World? Like, what deprived lives have you led? Like,
All our family vacations, if we went on them, was like every 3 to 4 years was to Vegas.
I feel like that's on my mom's side of the family. They go to Vegas a lot, but like my mom's dad though lived in Florida and like worked for Disney instead of my mom's stepmom that lived in Florida. So like we went to Disney all the time. I like grew up on Disney.
Yeah.
Like it was the greatest place on earth. Like always.
Well, no shit, I've been to Vegas like 8 times.
Wow.
I've been to Vegas only, once or twice. I know I've been there at least once, and it was before I was in like junior high. So, yeah, I clearly need to go back because I have not been there
It's
since I
different
turned
when you're an
21.
adult.
Yeah. I've been for work once for Vegas, but I've sadly only been to Disney once when I was 6.
Also, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
Deprived lives, guys.
I know. I was gonna go last year for the food and wine fest in Epcot,
yeah.
and didn't
Well,
happen.
Trina and I are going
I
in
did
October.
go last year during that time.
I know.
Trina promised me she was going to take me in October.
Yeah, we do need to go
So
in
you
October.
can come.
It is
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
I ended up going last year around September. It was actually around my birthday. It was not planned out at all, but I drove down there to help out with family that had hurricane damage.
Oh, yeah.
And
Went to
helped
Disney
out
World
with that.
instead.
And then the day after my birthday, since I spent my birthday doing like hard manual labor, my other sister who's down in the area,
Hey, Layla.
her and her friends, like they met up at Disney and we went to Epcot for the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah.
And it was
Can we podcast remotely from there?
we
Yeah.
should, because that was delicious and amazing. And they treated me to, like my sister treated me to like try some of the foods and the drinks. You have like a little card you can use. And then, one of her friends treated me with some drinks. And it was just, they were the sweetest people ever. I love her and her friends. They all listen to the podcast.
Both of your
And
sisters are amazing.
They're good people. They good people. I like them.
people.
Yeah.
They're good big sisters.
Well, what about you, Trina? How did Marshall propose to you?
Yeah.
So
I was there, by the way, so I already know.
You were there. Were you there, Jess? Actually, no. You were living in Boston, I think, at that time.
and I don't think I was there that
It was
that party.
So it was on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So,
there.
and we had a 10-year tradition. Or it's been 10 years. I think at that point it had been about like 5-6 years in. And that was our 5th year. Our 5th year tradition of hosting a New Year's Eve party. And so I actually think he had maybe had the ring for like, again, 24, 48 hours. I really don't think it'd been that long. I think he'd been searching for a while because he knew that I had liked a very specific type of ring, and he was looking for something that kind of just matched my really weird personality.
You knew how fucking picky you were.
So I really was fascinated by these
You're not
rings that
picky.
look like flowers. I am a little picky, which means, that just means I picked him. Like I'm
That's
picky. I
true.
have very specific taste.
That's true.
But-
and your ring is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
But so he actually, it's weird because he found it, but also I kind of found my ring because I really was obsessed with these like flower rings. And I had gone, I think we were going down to Florida for Christmas to visit my family, and we stopped off in Georgia along the way, and like I went with like his best friend's wife, and we went to look at this store that was going out of business over in this little tiny town, like in Fort Valley. And I found this ring, and I was like determined I was going to buy it for myself. And it was like this little right hand, like little diamond ring that had a flower of diamonds on it, but it was smaller than the one that I have. And I was like, I'm going to get it. There were two different ones there. There's one that was a lot bigger and a little bit more pricey. And then there was the smaller one. And I was like, maybe I'm going to buy the smaller one for myself because, I was like, but it's right before Christmas. I still got to go down to Florida. I'm probably going to spend way too much money. I was like, so maybe they'll discount it more and I'll get it on my way back. So we left. We went down to Florida for Christmas, come back through Georgia. I had been meaning to go back to that store to possibly buy that ring. And during that time frame, I didn't realize this, that woman that went with me, his friend's wife, she had gone with me. She had been in talks with Marshall about the ring, I guess, and what we'd seen. And I had told him I'd found it and I really wanted to go buy this ring. And so he ended up going back there, picking out the other ring that was like the bigger one that could be used as an engagement ring.
Yep.
He buys it. I obviously don't buy the other one. And we go back to Tennessee, and we're trying to get back by New Year's Eve for our party. So, like, this is sometime between after Christmas and before New Year's Eve. So then on New Year's Eve, he was planning on doing this whole thing, like, right at midnight. I was trying to enjoy our New Year's Eve party. And at one point, this is just a random side note in this whole story that's really, really sweet. He was worried I was getting a little too tipsy. And so,
not at your New Year's Eve party. None of us were.
No.
So he tells two of our close friends that he's not sure he's going to do it on New Year's Eve anymore because I'm getting a little too drunk. And so when I go to the restroom, they take my drink, dump half of it out, and dump water into it.
No.
So I get out of the bathroom, I taste my drink, and I'm like, wow, this is really watered down. Like, oh, my ice all melted. Like, this tastes horrible. And they both take it and they take a sip from it and they're like, no, it tastes perfectly fine. And I was like, okay, but it doesn't, but okay. So we go about the party. I probably sober up a little bit. They went to him and were probably like, she's good. Do it. So anyways, at midnight, he gets down on one knee. I had just taken a big old swig because we had done like the cheers, like, Happy New Year, and given a kiss. And then I go to take a swig of the champagne. And that's when I turn and look, and he's down on one knee. So this is super sweet. He's like, trying to say some sweet words and ask me to marry him. And I have to turn away from him because my throat immediately closed up and I couldn't swallow the champagne. And I was so worried. I was going to spit champagne all over him that I literally turned around, put my hand in his face, and was just like, 1 minute. What?
You should have spit in his mouth. That would have been romantic.
God,
yes.
Was able to get
swallow it
composure,
down.
swallow
She's
it down.
about to cry right now. I just want to tell everybody.
And
She's got tears in her eyes.
I turn back to him, and he's being super sweet, and he's kind of like doing like this little like
just waiting
on you. He finishes the proposal. I get down on my knees, I give him a hug, and I think I did the same thing where I didn't say yes, and someone said, "What'd you say?" And I was just like, "I said yes to the diamond ring."
Yeah, but not the husband.
Not the husband.
No, and then I showed off the ring and everything. It was super sweet. It was wonderful. It lives somewhere on YouTube, so I'll try to find that video and post it as well.
Do.
Yeah. So pretend that Marshall's not listening. Mm-hmm. When he asked, "Did you have any doubts?"
Oh God, no.
You don't have to lie.
I had no doubts. I had no doubt Marshall's sitting in the other room listening to every word I say. No, no, really, I had no doubts. I had known for a while. We met in college, so we'd known each other and been dating for like 5 years almost at that point. It was like, I think we got engaged right about our 4.5 year mark. And I mean, some people that was probably like a long time to date, but we also met like when I was 21, right before I turned 22. Same thing with him, right before he was 22, about turned 23. We needed to grow up a little bit, and I think we both knew that, and we were trying to like graduate college, find careers. I'm really happy that we ended up waiting as long as we did, because we saw a lot of people struggle in the first few years of marriage when it was really young. So
Yeah.
I think it was good that we waited that long. Also, it helps when you can afford a wedding.
Yeah.
So we had to get a few
expensive.
years of working in. But no, I think it's great when someone can actually find like the perfect time, the perfect place. And he did that, like New Year's Eve with all of like my favorite friends around. Like obviously Jess not being there, I was really disappointed.
I call redo.
The ones that could be
Redo.
there, you know, like that was such a big ongoing thing in our lives. Right after we had met, like we'd been dating probably about 6 months when we did our first New Year's Eve
Yeah.
party. So this was like an ongoing tradition. Like a lot of friends and people were there. It was so much fun. It was the perfect moment. I couldn't have wished for it to be done any other way.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I knew about it because I think for some reason I wasn't going to be able to be there. And I don't remember if it was Marshall or somebody else was like, no, you have to be there. Marshall's going to propose. I'm like, well, and I think I just dropped everything. I'm like, done.
Done.
Gonna be there.
But then I think I got so drunk I forgot that he was gonna, and so I was as surprised as you.
Well, I've had
the
another
best.
friend that she is highly allergic to cats, and we have cats.
Right.
Back then we only had 2, so it was a lot less. But and she usually would at least pop in for a little bit on like New Year's Eve, and I think afterwards she was like kicking herself in the butt. She was like, "If I had known," but also I feel like if more people had known, they would have let it slip.
Oh, for
I feel like
sure.
looking
Yeah.
back, there were a few people that I was just like, okay, they knew, and they definitely were getting close to like letting it slip. So it probably worked in his favor that I got a little tipsy early on because
Yeah.
a couple people probably would have made me think like, what's going on? Like one of our old roommates, he came over and like was giving me like all these like big deep hugs, and I was just like, okay, but I just thought like, okay, cool, he's drunk.
Yeah.
He just wants to hug me a lot and tell me like how awesome I am and that he loves me and like Marshall. So I was like, okay, cool. But like things like that, looking back on it, I was like, oh, all of them, they all knew. And they all had video cameras out and they all had camera phones ready.
Thank
and all of that.
God.
So
Right.
it's all documented everywhere.
Love it.
Right.
So.
Or don't be like me who, when I was in Boston, I was there for a New Year's Eve proposal, and right before the groom got down on one knee, I spilled a whole glass of champagne on him right before midnight.
Oh my God, I've never heard that story.
Is that marriage still going?
No.
No, you cursed it.
Or you just
Or
had an omen, like you knew.
wait, did they get to the altar?
Oh yeah, they
did? Okay.
I went
Aw.
to the wedding and everything, but literally before he got down to propose at midnight, I like knew that he was doing it. It was in my friend's apartment, like right up the street from mine, and we'd all gone to grad school together. And I was drunk and clumsy, and I was just like, boop, and I was like, oh
No, girl, that is the
shit.
bubbly
I was
telling
like-
you it's not going to work.
Yeah, that was
should've
the bubbly
listened.
trying to warn them.
I was like, oh, sorry about that.
You can see your future in those bubbles.
All right, so Jess,
Yes,
You know what's
hi.
coming. We're about to grill you.
so
Hi,
what is your dream proposal from boyfriend?
Let me ask you this first. Okay,
Yes.
so you do have a boyfriend.
Yes, I do. Hi, his name is Will.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
All right. How long have you been dating?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the magical time that we met at Lindsay's husband's 30th birthday party.
Yes.
That was an awesome birthday party that I missed.
Right. And do you
You were there
guys-
earlier in the
I was
day.
there earlier and then like way later.
Well, but if we're being real, let's talk about how we partly met because Trina wasn't there.
I was gonna say, you know what? If I hadn't been working and like I had been there, you might not have ever met him. Just saying, because I
It's
would have
true.
been that distracting.
Well, because
And I threw my husband an amazing 30th birthday
Yes.
party. It was Gadsby.
it's Gatsby themed. And Trina wasn't there for me to immediately go be like, hi, friend Trina. So it's great. I talked to our other friend, Alicia, and met him through there. So we've been together. It'll be 2 years official in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
So we've been living together since September.
Okay. So now, are you one of those people who want to get married, or are you like, nah, I'm good?
Well, I was kind of in your camp, Lindsay, where I was like, I don't care if I ever get married. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, marriage, well, I don't care. I don't care. Kids, whatever, don't care about any of it. And then, like, I was living the happy, free, single life. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like happy being single.
It's fun.
I wasn't looking for a relationship or anything.
Just happy being in Jess's world.
I was like, being Jess's world. I don't have to buy anybody a gift for any birthdays or Christmas. Hooray.
Amen.
Valentine's Day, none of that.
None of that. None of that. And then met Will, and I was like,
And then things got expensive.
And then,
All the gifts.
then I met Will, and I was like, okay, I guess. Then we talked, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess I can get married. If I get married to him, that'd be fine.
Aw, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I like that says a lot about him because
Right, it does.
before you were kind of like I don't care.
I don't
now
care.
to be like, I'd say yes to that.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
gotta be a
I'd
compliment.
say yes. And we've talked about it.
Yeah.
So I would.
So if he did, okay, so let's talk about
Okay.
if he did propose.
Yes.
First of all, what is your ideal ring?
Yes.
I don't even really know. This is how, let's all talk about how I didn't even know my ring size until last Monday.
I didn't know before Jay proposed to me either.
I didn't know my ring size.
I think actually Marshall just got really lucky because it fit.
Oh, okay. So good. This makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden I felt like this is a thing I was supposed to know, and
No.
I didn't know it.
Oh no! Actually, and my sister's, she's really, really super tiny, and the rings. I think the salesperson even told him like these are normal sized rings. Like there's a good chance that they'll fit her. No, they would fall off her hand. So she had to. And he
Okay.
was like, "Well, no, I think her ring size is way smaller than that, but it'll take 2 weeks to get sized." And again, what we were talking about before, it's like burning a hole in their pocket when they have
Yeah.
it. He was
Right.
like, 2 weeks doesn't fit with my proposal timeline. And so he said that. He proposed to her and then took her rings back to get sized.
Yeah.
But my sister was like on it. I think they were sized and like back on her hand within like 4 or 5 days.
Dang. Okay. Well, I feel better. The only reason I sized my finger is because some stuff came up during when my boyfriend was drunk, and because we have ring sizers at my work because we have lots of jewelry clients. That's the only reason my ring got my finger got sized.
All right. Well, so he knows.
Well, okay. So I have some stuff, and I've told my best friend, I'm like, oh, I like this. I like some vintage stuff. So like my best friend knows some stuff I'm interested in, and my boyfriend knows to talk to her whenever that time might come up.
Well, let me just ask you, Jessica.
Yes, Lindsay.
What is your ring size?
That would be a 4.
Okay. So Jessica's ring size is 4 if anybody is listening and wants to buy her a ring.
A very, very pretty ring that she's going to describe right now.
Well, I don't even know. I'm happy with anything.
Well, you said vintage. Now, do you want diamond? Do you want emerald, ruby?
Actually, it doesn't have to be diamond. It can be whatever.
Do you have a favorite like colored stone, or are there any stones? It might be even easier to do this. Are there any stones colors that you wouldn't like?
Well, let's not go with the ruby blood red. That'd be weird.
What about onyx, the black?
No, that'd be weird. Fancy yellow diamonds, emeralds, anything like that is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, if we're talking about proposal scenarios, he knows that as much as I like hockey games, he cannot propose in a giant stadium.
What
Oh.
if it was like when we won the Stanley Cup?
Well, first of all, that would be ungodly expensive.
You're worth it.
But like, now I get that. Actually, as much as a fan as you are of hockey, I could see you probably wanting something maybe a little bit more intimate.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't even want a wedding.
Oh wow.
I
You want to
don't-
elope?
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want a wedding.
So do you like want him to propose and like immediately go to the courthouse, or?
No, I don't want to. I'm not really. I want to be a little bit more romantic than like we're going to the courthouse. Like I want to wear a dress, and there can be a photographer, but like I don't want a wedding. Like I don't want guests. Somebody can marry us, and we can go in like a nice setting, like in a park or something, and then I'll have a big party for all my friends later.
So I've got the plan.
Yes.
What needs to happen now?
Yes.
Is that he's gonna buy the ring.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna get you a really nice, cute, like summery white dress.
Like modcloth-ish dress?
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe a little lace, something tasteful, obviously, and timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And We're going to plan it out. He's going to propose, and immediately we're going to go to a park. You're going to get married. I'll be your ordained minister because I'm there.
And I'll be your flower girl.
We'll be the flower girl, and she'll also wear a microphone and like live document the entire thing.
And then you're going to have champagne.
And narrate it. She'll be the champagne provider.
Okay.
Do you want the parents there?
No.
Cool. Okay.
That was Lindsay. Well,
there's going to be like, we're just going to be the four of us. I'll marry you guys. It'll totally be legal because I can do that.
And done.
And boom, you just get engaged and married all in the same moment. Like, how do you feel about that?
The four of us with the marriage, I feel like that's the most romantic thing you could ever dream
totally
of.
would be. We can like have all the bottles of champagne going on.
And then I can go honeymoon somewhere.
Like immediately.
Yeah, the four of us can go honeymoon somewhere.
Oh, yeah, the four of us are going to the honeymoon.
I mean,
what are you going to do with Rory?
The five of us can go honeymoon somewhere.
The five of us can go.
Totally. But I'm just saying, we could just make that happen, Jess.
I mean, you know.
I feel like I just planned out your whole
I feel like that
dream
needs to
and
be a
planned it out.
surprise, and we need to talk to Will about it.
Okay, but
I was going to say, I would like a surprise proposal still. Well, that's why I haven't got, I'm like, I don't want to go look at the ring. I don't want to go any of that. I want to be surprised, and I think he'll be able to pull it off.
yeah, I think it'll be good.
I don't know if it'll happen in like a couple months, 6 months. It'll happen sooner than in a year.
Do you want it like in a park, on a beach,
I
on
want
a
like
building,
in
a museum?
I mean, somewhere that will be cheap.
Surrounded by bottles of champagnes in the shape of a heart.
Yes, just like that.
Totally, we can make that happen.
That's the like most romantic I'm gonna get.
This proposal brought to you by the Champagne Way.
Ooh, can we sponsor it?
We'll be in the bushes. We'll be like, man.
We'll sponsor that and throw in the wedding for free.
Great, I appreciate that. Thank you so
We'll be like,
much.
Will is getting down on one knee.
And we're live tweeting the
is
entire
this
process.
like The Bachelor? I feel like this is like The Bachelor type of wedding.
And Jessica flips her hair.
Oh my
She's
God.
gonna narrate the whole thing. I'm just
Oh my
saying.
God, I feel
it's gonna be
like-
amazing.
Okay.
We'll put the microphone in her like little flower girl bouquet.
This is the only way my wedding can ever be public is this right here.
This right here.
You can like live whatever this is right
Yes,
now.
done.
With Instagram live the whole
flower girl / commentator.
But I don't
won't-
want any unity candle stand. I don't want any.
None of that. But what we can do
Yes.
is instead of throwing
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Can we have unity cotton candy?
yes.
we could do that.
Pour your champagne in it.
Oh, and then you could drink it.
Oh my God.
You could totally do
Done.
that. But we'll do that.
Jay and I had
He will if
some
I tell him.
Celtic
He
knot.
has to.
Jay and I had some Celtic knot tied around our wrists. I picked that because I thought it was very like cool.
Symbolic and cool.
Okay.
It was just cool.
There you go.
We did do the sand thing, but we were also on a beach.
Well, you were on the beach, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
kinda made
guess a little
sense.
more legit.
But I like tailored the words and stuff to make it sense. And then also at one point, I really, really, really just wanted us to do like a mixed drink.
Yeah.
He's the Jack and I'm the Coke, and let's just make that and take a sip. And I thought that would have been amazing, but I think it was highly like frowned upon or something. So
I had my sister read a poem, and it was actually song lyrics from a Led Zeppelin song.
But you called it a poem?
Yeah.
Did you call that? That's amazing.
that is awesome. Well, so this is a lot of people don't necessarily know this about our wedding, but because Marshall and I are so musically driven,
Right.
We wanted to do the traditional vows from a wedding, but like, and of course we altered those to like fit us, but we wanted to do something like special. But instead of like trying to recreate the great words of other people, we decided to do song lyrics. So we each had like 5 or 6 flashcards that we'd written out the night before with different songs. And we made sure that we didn't do the same songs, but we didn't necessarily know what parts each person did. And we went back and forth and quoted song lyrics to each other. Like the chorus or like a little verse of a
Did
song.
you sing them?
No, we just said them to each other, but there were some really funny ones in there because like there's a couple pictures where we're really like holding the cards and we look like we're about to laugh. And like you could see people in the background and they're like crying and then also laughing. I think at one point like we quoted like "You Are My Sunshine," and another point like there was an All for One song like "I Swear" in it. I threw in some Kenny Chesney. I mean, it was good, guys.
I like
so
that
sad I
idea.
didn't get to make it to your wedding. I don't know why you had to get married while I was in law school.
I know. Hey, if it helps, like this year is going to be 8 years, and we've already started talking about redoing the whole thing for our 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
I'm
like,
down.
Do a little vow renewal and like go back to the Keys and invite everyone out because we loved our wedding and all of the community
I
of
was
it.
so upset. So I couldn't go to Trina. She got married it was like a cruise. It was a whole vacation. I was in
couldn't
law
go
school.
either.
I couldn't miss class, and I couldn't afford it because I was paying as I went. And I was devastated. So yes, let's renew the vows. I will be the flower girl, obviously.
Again, yes,
Yeah.
clearly.
And we'll redo
Double
this.
flower girl.
Double flower girls.
Triple flower girl with Rory.
Oh, hey, there we go.
If we bring her.
Because we didn't really have a flower girl at ours. I think we opted out on
Because I wasn't there.
the kid thing.
Yeah.
So, for our listeners, and we will talk about this another time, I am Marshall and Trina's adopted daughter.
Yes, she is.
So I just would like to put that out there.
That means I have an adopted grandchild.
It
Oh my
would
God,
be
you're so old.
a lot.
I'm so old.
It would mean a lot more
Yeah.
if you just called her your granddaughter and not your adopted.
I'll just call her my granddaughter. But also, that makes me feel really old. I'm not that old, guys. I'm not that old.
No, one of our friends we graduated college with is a grandmother.
What?
Who?
Holy moly.
My big sister.
Oh, that's right. Oh
Yup.
my gosh. I do have a friend that I went to high school with that is technically a grandmother too, and she's literally a year and like 1 day older than me.
Yeah, well,
Gracious.
so this is Amanda, and she married a guy who had a daughter already, but her and her husband have a young daughter, so it's really cute. I think it's sweet, and her stepdaughter is so sweet too. But yeah, she's the little grandson, and he's precious.
Oh, but that is so sweet.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing with having my friend in high school. Her husband, when they got married, he had already had a preteen at that point in time.
Yeah.
I think he was like 12 when they got married. And then, they themselves have had, I think, 5 or 6 kids since then. They've had a lot of kids.
Oh.
But they had a bunch of kids. And then, like, her stepson had a kid. And all of a sudden, I think that kid's like 2 years old now. So we're talking like she was like 32 and like, hey, guys, apparently I'm like a step granny right now. And I'm like, what?
Now it's time to drink about it.
What's up first, Jess?
All right. Now, our first one is a celebratory drink from Nina, soon to be Wallen. Nina says, I got engaged, as we just talked about. It was magical, and I am so excited to plan my wedding.
Aw.
Yay, Nina.
Congratulations.
That's really exciting. All right. Next up, we've got a vent drink from Bub Ellie.
Oh.
I think this is a different Bub Ellie from last time. This is about the awful job. Oh no, this is a vent-worthy drink. Bub Ellie says, my job is so awful. My boss is a micromanager, and the worst part is that we have an ant infestation.
Ew.
And he won't do anything about it. It's so annoying. Wishing I could quit.
Oh.
Well, we're drinking to you,
Yeah, weird.
Bub Ellie. I'm so sorry about the ant infestation.
Glasses raised. Those are annoying.
Yeah. Maybe you should take like a little gummy bear or something like that and like put it in like your boss's desk drawer. I don't know. Something. Like get the ants directed to like his or her office. And you said he. So
Dip that gummy bear in some flat champagne and then put it in your boss's desk and direct the ants that way.
I think that would be the perfect idea.
Yep.
You didn't hear it from us, but.
No.
But. And then we've got 2 from Layla.
We have 2 from Layla Lee Lila,
Hi.
which is probably my favorite name in the world.
Next child's name is. No.
Right?
I love, and her main name's Layla Lee Lila Lloyd. Mm-hmm. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, she said like she was happy to change that up when she got a new last name, and I was really disappointed like on behalf of her.
That is the most
For her.
gorgeous name. Sorry, Derek, but it is. And I think I've mentioned that to my husband several times, and he thought it was too. But for some reason, we did not name our child that. But it's gorgeous,
It's the
Layla, and I
greatest
just
name
love it.
ever.
So she's drinking to The Shape of Water because it was a brilliant movie that deserved to win, and it was a classy fish porn.
She called me after she watched it, and then she also texted me, and she was like, "I actually really like the movie."
Oh, no.
I'm torn.
Layla.
I'm torn. I mean, half of it looks really interesting and good, and I've heard great things. But then I'm like fish porn. But I'm also intrigued by that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there you go. It's like 50-50 shot. You're either going to really like some classy fish porn or you're going to be like, no,
There
was fish
is
porn.
such a thing as dinosaur porn, so I feel like there should be such a thing as fish porn.
That's true, there is.
This is all weird.
Okay, and she's also drinking to her house that she finally got painted.
Ooh, I know she's been waiting for that to happen forever.
And she's in a
so.
picture and she's palm trees in front of her house.
She does
so
live in
nice.
Florida.
I'm so jealous, Layla.
Yeah.
Me too.
Layla Lee Lila.
Layla Lila.
Hope you're okay with us sharing your entire name.
By the way.
Anyway, it's so pretty. She can't help it.
She can't help it.
Oh.
All right, what about us? Do we have any drink about it, Jess?
I am drinking to the fact that the Predators did not do so well in their third game to the Avalanche last night.
Oh, vent-worthy.
Oh, it's event worthy, but I'm drinking to the fact that I know we're going to do better tomorrow night and that we're going to bring it on home
Better.
Friday and close out the first round on Friday at home, and we're going to go into the second round and do that and win.
All right.
Preds predictions by Jess.
That's
Cheers
right.
to
That's
that.
right.
Let's make it uplifting. Cheers to their next wins because we know what's going to happen.
That's right. So we're going to win tomorrow in Colorado and bring it on home and win on Friday.
That's it. That's it. That's the
Bam.
plan.
Bam.
Preds don't let us down.
That's right.
All right, Trina, what about you?
All right. I've got two celebratory drink about it. One is starting the new job. That's been
Woo!
exciting and fun. And I didn't really think about it until one of my friends actually pointed out to me. She goes, wow, VP before 35. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And I
Hell
was just like,
yes.
whoa, that is kind of a big deal.
Hashtag boss babe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hashtag boss babe. And I'm totally okay with all of that. And then also celebratory drink because I asked my old boss at the other job, like 2 or 3 times if I could take home the purple couch that was in my office there. And he like casually avoided the discussion. And then he randomly called me on Friday last week and was just like, hey, so about that couch, do you still want it? And I was like, yes, I still want it. I even offered to pay for it. I'm like, that's how bad I wanted it. And he was just like, no, just come pick it up next week. It's all yours. And I was like, yes.
Hooray.
So excited that the old boss was super nice and gave me the awesome purple couch. And there's a story to that purple couch because in my very first interview with
You
them,
had sex on it.
no. That would be really awkward if it was my first
That's
interview
what
there.
you wanted.
No, my very first interview there, when they were offering me the job, they were like, so how do you feel about purple? And I was like, it's kind of like my favorite color. So how I feel great about it. And I was like, why? You know, like, what's purple around here? And he just shows me to my new future office at that time. And there was a purple couch in there. And he goes, because the last person who had this office only for a couple of months ordered a purple couch. And I was just like, it's meant to be.
It is. It's like your
So-
power color.
So I felt like it had to leave with me. You know?
I like it.
Yeah. But all right, Lindsay, what about you? What's your drink about it?
3 words. Motherfucking daycare.
Oh, daycare. The cost, I'm assuming. And the list.
The
Oh.
list. You know, just FYI, if you live in a bigger city, 5 years before you have a child, get on that fucking daycare list.
All right.
Damn. So how long? Well, I guess we talked about earlier that you don't know how long the list is. You just know that you're on it for an indefinite period of time.
Yeah, the place we really want today, they told me realistically, it would be 2019.
Damn. It's still April of 2018. Like, that's ridiculous.
And we put our name on the list like months ago.
What? I feel like this is
Wow.
like the most popular bar in Hollywood that you're trying to get into.
Right?
Wow.
I mean, just to tell you, like, if you are even thinking about having daycare, you call the one you want and you make up this fictitious child that you may or may not have.
Okay.
And tell them to put them on that.
I'm about to say,
list.
are you allowed to like call up and be like, so I'm not pregnant, but I'm thinking I might have,
I don't know.
that in plan sometime soon.
They make you tour them first.
With your baby in tow?
No,
or
I mean,
not?
I was
Do you
pregnant.
have to like clearly
Oh,
be pregnant?
so like I
No.
can. So I can just go in there with maybe
Yeah.
a baby bump or not.
Some of them you have to pay to get your name on the list.
Oh my
Whoa.
God! There's like line fees.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Like what happens if you go to a different place then?
Then you lose that. But
That's
if you go
crazy.
there, they apply it towards your registration fee.
I feel like this is like
This is a racket.
racket. Yeah, baby.
Well, there was
Racket.
just an article online that said that daycare costs more than college tuition, like the average.
It probably does. That's ridiculous. Like that you have to wait on a list, pay to get on that list, but there's no guarantee that you'll even get in during the time frame that you need to have daycare.
This is like college application fees for like 5-month-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The average wait time for an infant to get on in daycare is 2 years, but they're only an infant for 1 year.
That's
so that tells
crazy.
me you have to get on the list like 3 years. Like, it's crazy.
What is the alternative? I mean, like, if you have to go to work, but then you don't have daycare, like, you can't bring your baby to work.
That's why I'm drinking about motherfucking daycare.
Because it's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't believe that. I feel like I just need to go make up a baby's name and go get my name on a list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I give him my cat's name maybe?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, you don't have to tell them. Just be like, oh, we're pregnant. You know, we're looking for.
What if you brought your cat in there and you were like, here's my baby?
Here's my baby. Which one would I bring? Oreo maybe?
Oreo, he's the chunkiest.
So put him in a little bonnet. I feel like I could actually like swaddle him and he'd be okay with it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I should not do is bring in my cat named Convict because I just don't think that they'll want a convict baby in there.
No.
That's funny.
Welcome to Jess's Drinkin' Thinkin' Cap. So this week, I'm drinking and thinking about Cinco de Mayo.
Whoop, whoop. And guess whose birthday that is?
Lindsay's.
My husband says that's the most ominous birthday for me.
It's like the perfect birthday for
Yeah,
you.
it's the greatest birthday for you. Okay, so I need help thinking about 2 things. Stuff for Cinco de Mayo. So like recipes, cocktails. I don't know if I want like some champagne, some spiciness for like baked goods, cocktails, things like that. Maybe a little something with tequila and champagne. I don't really know how those are going to mix together.
I feel like there's got to be a champagne like salsa somewhere.
Right. Oh, right. Something like that. And something for Lindsay's birthday.
I mean, I'm just going to say I've only ever had one surprise birthday party.
Oh. Is that a hint?
I think that's a hint.
And I really like brunch.
Oh, okay.
Start.
It's not going to be a surprise if you give anything else to
No,
us.
that's right. So maybe stop there.
Stop there.
And I like champagne.
Oh, and
Okay.
you like champagne.
I mean,
As if
clearly.
that's not obvious. So I'm putting my Drinkin' Thinkin' cap on to start thinking of recipes for Cinco de Mayo and Lindsay's birthday. And if you guys that are listening have anything to contribute, please shoot me an email at jess@thechampagneway.com. So Jess, Jess, at thechampagneway.com. Please, if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to see me try out for those occasions, I would love to hear them.
Also, I feel like Cinco de Mayo was the perfect day for your birthday. Like, ever since I met you and we were in college, like, that really was, like, it's fitting.
Yeah,
it's always been
that
very
was-
fitting. That Lindsay is a party, so it makes sense that she was born on a party day.
I mean, right, let's be real. I'm probably going to combine something that, like, is Cinco de Mayo and Lindsay all together.
Yeah.
Sprinkles, pinatas, champagne.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to figure it out.
I'm thinking a champagne pinata filled with sprinkles.
Yeah.
That's what comes to mind, I'm just saying.
Edible pinata.
An edible pinata. Okay.
Made of sprinkles and filled with
Full
champagne?
of sprinkled flavored champagne.
Okay.
Champagne
Now that's really
flavored
specific.
sprinkles.
Sure. We'll make that work.
Yeah. All right, champagne trivia. All right, do you guys remember what the question was last episode?
It was something about something.
That's right.
You are right.
Okay,
so
good.
Okay, so it was actually, what is the person called who works at the champagne vineyard factory thing that turns the bottles?
Oh, yes, we discussed that because that would
right.
be just, I feel like, the
A great
greatest job
job.
ever.
Right.
Well-
Besides second to the person who gets to test the champagne.
But they turn like 50,000 bottles a day. So I think your wrist would get tired.
Oh. So,
That would get a little tired.
But I do like their name. It's like a superhero name.
okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
what are
what
they
is that?
called?
Dun, dun, dun. The Champagne Riddler.
Riddler? That's like a villain.
That does sound like a villain. Why? What's the meaning behind that? Like, the Riddler?
I don't know. That's just what they're called.
Champagne Riddler.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, riddling or something is, like, the act of, like, turning the bottles or something.
Right? Or is the bottle, like, riddled with stuff?
Could be that, too.
It could be riddled with
Bubbles?
like
I like that.
Riddled with bubbles.
sediment.
Sediment. Oh, okay. Yeah?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a new question for you guys for the next episode.
Oh.
What is it?
If you open a champagne bottle with a sword, what is that called?
I didn't know that was called
There's
anything.
a term.
Oh my god! But I've seen that like on Instagram a bunch and like in movies and stuff. That's super
Maybe
cool.
we can try it and post it on Instagram. Does anyone have a sword?
I actually used to, which is really strange, but I don't
Okay.
anymore. No, like we lived overseas a lot when I was younger, so we used to have like
Carry
sword
swords.
collections, and like I
Did
think
you have to carry a sword to school?
I did not carry a sword to school, but
Awesome.
someone did show up to the park when we lived in the Philippines carrying a sword, and that person got in a lot of trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I think they kind of
Jess,
like held
you
some
have a
kids
sword?
hostage.
I'm fresh out of swords at my apartment.
What about your mom and dad's house?
No, I mean, I'll check, but I think they're fresh out of swords.
Marshall,
too.
you got a sword hidden somewhere? He said no.
Okay. See, I do somewhere have like some little mini sword, like letter openers.
Do you got
But I
those?
just don't think that will work.
What about a sharp knife?
I have some sharp knives somewhere.
We're going to
but
try it.
We should try it. But I also feel like we should definitely find us a really sharp sword and do this the right way. I feel like it needs to be like a slow-mo video.
Oh, and you would be doing a...
I don't know.
All right. You got to answer that for next episode.
I have to think about that. Like,
I'm sorry, is this a professional position? Like, are these professional people, or is it just
don't
an
research
action?
it that
are they called the
much.
Champagne Ninja? Because anything short of that
Yeah,
is
can we
like
just
not
say it's the
cool
Champagne
enough.
Ninja? That's my guess.
Probably better than what it's actually called.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know. The Riddler person, that sounds cool. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they need a professional, like, jacket or something to
you
wear.
use the blunt side of a sword.
the blunt side.
Yeah. And it was made famous by Napoleon and his army when they celebrated victories. And
They celebrated?
They celebrated.
I don't think they wanted to celebrate anything.
But they may have celebrated.
yes.
Okay, well, next time when we're back and we celebrate with you guys,
Celebrate.
we'll have the
Celebrate.
we'll have the answer. But in the meantime, right? If you guys want to answer, how can they answer this question,
All right.
Lindsay?
I'm going to post it on our social media, Instagram and Facebook. And I'll post it there and you can respond.
Answer in the comments below. We're going to try something new this time.
Yep.
All right. So, what we may or may not discuss in the next episode, whether or not anyone celebrated anything.
I mean,
Also, if there's any other champagne flavored candies or cotton candies, I should say.
we're gonna have
out there.
lots of more of that stuff.
And whether or not Jess finds any good Cinco de Mayo drinking, thinking, cap-worthy treats to make.
I'm on it. Thanks, everyone, for listening to this week's episode. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Champagne Way, and you can listen to this episode or download it at thechampagneway.com, on Apple Music, Google Play, and on SoundCloud.
The Champagne Way, living every day is a celebration.
Oh my God, your face during that.
All right. And I think Trina's headed down to Baton Rouge this weekend, so I'd like to leave her with this. Operator, won't you put me on through? I gotta send my love down to Baton Rouge. Hurry up, won't you put her on the line? I gotta talk to my girl just one more time.
Ding, 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 ding.